Alrighty, boys and girls, last day here. Or, I mean, last day of actually working on the project. We're going to be here tomorrow, but that's just going to be for loading up, taking the firewood. So, what we got going on today is I wasn't too terribly impressed with this bucket. And the reason being, I don't know how well you guys can see it. It needs a new cutting edge. The one that's on it's a little too sharp, but then it also, there's more taken off on this side than this side. So it wasn't cutting even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the other bucket back on. And I'm going to take this one home and just turn it into a flower pot. But I'm going to put the other bucket back on and just come up through here with the teeth and rake it as best as I can. And then maybe take this stuff, which actually is halfway decent, rake the nasty little bit of crap out of it, and try and move it back in here and level it as best as possible. And then I'm going to start over down there at the end and come back this way, because it does a lot of this. And you know, she just doesn't want to spend any more money to have the dozer up here or even the skip loader. Okay, I'm going to kind of go Jeff Anderson on you here. For you guys that are getting machines and don't know servicing, this is your secondary, this is your primary. Always, always, always. I don't have a paint pen on me right now, but I got it written down on my phone. Mark your date that the filter was changed. And like when I go to do the secondary here, the primary here, I'll put a mark on here, on this one, that this one's been changed. That this one's been changed once and this one hasn't. What I usually do is run it till 3. When there's 3 marks on here, change your secondary. So, and then on this one, on the back of it, write the date and the hours that the filter was changed. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys. It's cheaper to buy a filter, a gallon oil, or a tube of grease than it ever will be to do a major repair to the machine, because you know, you sandblasted the engine or anything. I know a lot of guys that'll blow these filters out, and I'll do that too. I'll blow them out, but when I hit 250 hours, the filter gets changed. I change this primary filter every time I change the oil on my machine. Like this, and this one just had an oil change done to it, so we're gonna run it until 8650. At 8650, it's gonna get an oil change. You're probably going, what the heck? But you change the oil on these older machines every 250 hours. Now the newer machines can go a lot longer, but on these older machines, you change them every 250 hours. So yeah, this next go around, we're going to change the oil, and we're actually going to send it off for an oil sample just to see what kind of shape the engine's in. So when you're servicing like this right now, I'll put on my phone, I got it noted the hours, but I would have wrote on it in paint pen what hours we did it at and the date. And then on this one, hours, date. The next time this one gets changed, this one gets a mark when there's 3 marks on it. 3 dots, 3 lines, 3 freaking PP pictures, I don't care. But the next time this one gets 3 marks, that one gets changed. So if you're doing it every 250 hours, I mean, think about it. That's a month and a half. If you're running 8-hour days, 5 days a week, every month and a half, you should be changing your oil. Because, you know, it's 160 hours in a month. So another 100 hours past that. So about every couple months, you should be changing the oil on your rig. So that's what I do. So she's getting a brand new set right now because the other one was pretty choked up. It was so bad it actually got down into the secondary. So I went and got these yesterday, and we'll see if that makes her run a little bit better. I'm sure it will. This is what's leaking. It's leaking out of where is it leaking out of? Is it leaking out of up there, or is it leaking out of right there? That's where it's leaking out of. There's a fitting up there. Well, I'm gonna have to stretch her out, and it's starting to drip pretty good. As you can see, it's starting to get a pretty good drip going there. So I'm gonna have to stretch her out and get that down lower, and pop that apart and see if I can't get it to quit leaking. There's a fitting right up there. I think it comes down to something back in there that's protected. I bet you what it is, that there's a line that runs down to this end of the piston. So I'm gonna get her stretched out a little bit better. That way I can get up in there, see if I can't get in that piece of shit toolbox and get her tightened up. See why. Okay, I think we got the leak fixed. The very nice neighbor came over and he wanted to talk for a little bit, so we talked over this whole entire job, and now I'm not getting warm, fuzzy feelings about it. Let's just put it that way. So I found 200 hoses out there that were kind of loose. So let's see if tightening them up, if it's going to leak or not. This excavator has done a lot of work in this area. Kind of cool. When you're a bit of a history buff like I am, it's really neat to find out that all the water lines and roads and a lot of the clearing and that kind of thing have been in this little valley have been done with this machine. This machine is absolutely no stranger to this area, I can tell you that much. Okay guys, this is kind of where we're at. It's 2 o'clock. I'm gonna go another couple hours here. I got this here raked from about that point there up the hill. Raked out, I think about as good as it's gonna get. The ground's just getting way too damn dry. So I'm gonna come over here now, rake that up to the brush pile, and then start here and rake my way down that way and try and get it cleaned up as much as possible. I'm not going to focus really right around here too much because I still got to I got to process up that firewood tomorrow. Well, like the last couple times, the camera decided to be stupid and have you guys completely upside down. That's okay, you didn't miss much. less fuel than it was yesterday. I got a solid 4 hours on it, and that right there is why you're not supposed to be running your AC and stuff and running with the doors and windows open on the newer machines. How many times do you guys see me do this to clear that off? As soon as I get this here fixed to where I can see out of it, that and that will be closed, because the AC in this thing actually does work fairly good. Anyway, but I'm at a solid probably 8 hours on it, 7 hours, and just between yesterday and the little bit I worked the day before, after I fueled up, I burned a half a tank. Today, I don't even think I've barely even moved the needle. That's how important clean air filters are. Okay guys, cap of this thing is roached, but we'll deal with that here in a little bit. So where I'm at, I got that there raked. And I think that's gonna good as it's gonna get without a dozer. And then I got this here all raked, and as good as it's gonna get without a dozer or a rake of some kind. So well, I don't know how far you guys got, because obviously the camera didn't think it needed to be going any longer, so or if it was even recording at all at this point. I don't know what the heck the deal is with this thing, but it's starting to really aggravate me. Not turning on when it's supposed to be turning on, not filming when it's supposed to be filming, shutting itself off after 5 minutes. I'm getting very agitated with it. Anyway, a little bit left to do down there by the pickup, and then I'm just going to leave the hose sitting down there. This all up through here, I raked it, broke it up, and tracked it back in. I think that's as good as it's going to get for now without the dozer to be able to really do anything with it. So I'm going to run down here to the, there's a bad spot right there next to the pickup, and I'll run down there and rake that around just a little bit, get the pickup up here out of the way, and And then I'll probably bring the hoe back, set it right here, because I gotta come back tomorrow with the trailer and start loading up some of that firewood. I really don't know why the camera's starting to have a freak out on me. I gotta take this here apart, figure out where she's leaking. I think she's leaking right there. I'm gonna take it apart here real quick and clean it up and see if I can't find the actual leak, fire it up and watch it, because it's, you can see it's getting pretty worse. And I've shut the machine down. It had a, there it is right there. It had a pretty constant drip. So if I gotta be running around getting a hydraulic hose and stuff, I'd much rather do that tomorrow afternoon than be at the next job, which is kind of a, one part of it needs to get done pretty dang quick. Trying to figure it out then, you know what I mean? So take this here off again. Take this here off and see if I can't see where it's leaking at. Luckily, I've already had this off once, so I'm pretty versed in how it goes. A bunch of you probably going, well, you should have just bought a new machine. This is why you buy new, don't buy old. You know, honestly, I'll say it again. I think I said it in a different video. You know, Jeff Anderson's proven it. Jay Paydirt. You can make money with older iron. But what a lot of people think are constantly working on it is not constantly working on it. It's called regular preventative maintenance. And, you know, I look at Jeff and what he does, and it's one of them things where, yeah, he's doing a lot of work, and there's a lot of work going on there, and he's replacing a lot of parts, but it's one of them ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure type situations. The parts and stuff that he's going after are stuff that he's doing while he's there, so he doesn't have to go after it again at some point in time, or, you know, say, hey, I'm out on a job and something goes to crap. You know, I know a lot of people that they just spend the money every year when the machines, when it's slow, to go after stuff that it might not need to be done, but it's better to do it at your schedule than the machine do it at its schedule. So, you know, a lot of people are like, well, I'm just going to go out and buy a brand new machine and run it, or a newer machine. Guys, I've seen hoses blow on machines that only had 50 hours on them. Breakdowns happen. It's just part of the business. I would much rather this machine work out fairly good and work on it every single day than have a brand new machine that I have to call a technician to fix for me. be right here in this fitting right there where it's starting to this fitting right here is not sealing right or something. All right, we'll have to ascertain that. It's a bear to get that one because of the way that this is all laid out here. I really hate to think you got to take this hose here off to be able to get that really good. It obviously, it does feel. It does feel like she's a little on the loosey-goosey side. Me thinks it goes this way to loosen, that way to tighten. That's it. Got a little bit out of it. Something's dead around here or something. The flies are horrid. I think that there's an O-ring or something inside this fitting that might be getting ready to take a crap. Because it's leaking from this fitting, it's not leaking from the hose. Left something behind. I gotta fix you guys real quick. Well, I got you guys fixed. I ain't seeing anything leaking out of it just yet. Maybe I'll let her sit here a minute running and with the hydraulics engaged and see if I can see a drip. But I kind of think that's what it was. That thing was just loose. So this right here is the other thing I noticed today. This pin's trying to back itself out. I think I got that sealed up halfway decent, so I got to put these last 2 bolts in it. But I also noticed that that pin there was oops. I also noticed that that pin there was getting ready to back out. So I got onto that pretty. Oh! Get that tightened down here. The customer showed up. We got paid. She's happy. Am I happy? I think it could have been better, but I did what was asked of me. I fulfilled our contractual agreements. So I guess as long as she's happy, that's all that matters. I wish I could have done a heck of a lot more. I wish we could have brought the dozer in and really made a good road, because the unfortunate part about it is, when it comes down to this kind of stuff, you can tell the customer a million times they need to do something. They just sit back and say, oh yeah, I'm happy with it. But here, when something really major happens, they're going to sit back and not like you for whatever. Alright, now I gotta go find a wrench that'll fit that. Do I have a speedy wrench that'll fit that? 3/4, the biggest one of these I got. Is that it? No. It's 5/8. How about this one? Oh. That one works though. This backs out, guess what happens? That pin falls out. What happens when that pin falls out? Your thummy don't worky anymore. I noticed that pin was flopping around in there a little bit more than normal today. There we go. Next one's 5/8. Holy buckets. Is it 5/8? No, 5/8 is bigger. I mean 7/8. Or is it 11/16? I know exactly what size it is. It's a 12-inch crescent wrench. The answer to everything. Oh, damn it. I just got covered in grease. Okay, that ain't moving. We're good. Cheers. She's done. Well, tinkering on her's done. Let's see how bad that line's leaking tomorrow. First thing in the morning, we're going to adjust that track up. Try and get here bright and early so I can get that wood sawed up. And then I have to get in touch with the fabricator about fixing that. But when we repin and bush this thing, it's going to completely change. So, no point in getting wild and crazy with it. Alrighty. Look at the gap in there. Woohoo! That needs a bushing bad. Almost not so bad over here. Might just be able to get away with a pin. That one there is pretty clapped. This pin here and this pin here are clapped. I mean clapped. But I knew that when I bought the machine. I'll see about getting some pins in it this winter. We're gonna make up enough money. I'm going to do that pin, and that pin. I'd like to line bore all this right here. And then the following year, we'll do the boom and the stick. So that back there seems to be pretty tight. This up here, though, it's not so good. Anyway, like what you're seeing, do us a favor, like the video. Appease the YouTube algorithm. If you'd like to see more of it, I consider subscribing, because we got big things on the horizon. And as always, see you guys tomorrow. Or the next time we're working anyway. I think we might get some rain.